2022
was 22 வந்து இட் வாஸ் ஆர் நம்பரில்
22 was supposed to be the big number for us.
ஏன்னா ஃபஸ்ட்டு சீசன் வந்து 22 episodes. செகண்ட் சீசன் 1.5 தான் ஃபுல்லாக பண்ணலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நம்ம ஆஃபீஸ் டோர் நம்பர் வாஸ் 22.
அப்படியா? வடபழனியில்
இல்லை, இங்கே வேளச்சேரி.
ஓகே ஜனபுரி ஸ்ட்ரீட். ஓகே. ஸோ எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? ராம், இட்ஸ் பீன் ஸோ லாங்.
டிஜிட்டலி மீட்டிங் ஸோ லாங்.
ஆமாம். ஏன்னா ஐ திங்க் the first time we started podcast, I think we were one of the very few businesses in Chennai to have created a podcast நினைக்கிறேன்.
Especially in Tamil
வேறு. ஸோ அண்ட் அதுக்கப்புறம் ஆடியோலையும் வந்து we kept pushing, but இப்போ வந்து I think we are in a new space.
Correct.
We have begun a lot of new things here at our office. So how are things? எப்படி போய்கிட்டு இருக்கு?
Things are good. Basically 2022 the pandemic has brought a revolutionary change in the digital business.
நம்மளோட embrace digital வந்து
so things are has to be good for us. If not good for us, then we are in the wrong track. And like what we have been continuously advising to people, go digital. Pandemic has knocked on every people's head and told them it's time to go digital.
And it's very good that even small businesses are like trying to invest in their digital marketing efforts. பட் எங்கே ரைட் இடம் என்னன்றது தெரியாமல் இருக்கிறது ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு க்ரௌடடான ஸ்பேஸில் இருக்கும்போது கஷ்டப்படுறாங்க. பட் ஸ்டில் த ஃபேக்ட் தட் ஏன்னா நம்ம முன்னாடி வந்து நம்ம போய் பார்க்கும்போதே வந்து இல்லை இதெல்லாம் நாங்கள் பண்ண மாட்டோம், ஃப்ளையர்ஸ் தான் கொடுப்போம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க.
அவேர்னஸ் முன்னாடி இருக்காது டுவர்ட்ஸ் டிஜிட்டல். 2022 I used to go meet hospitals and talk to them about how importance of social media marketing and everything, how it can benefit them. 23 they know the benefits, so you need not go. It is all about the pricing that they are talking, but not the service that they are going to get. So now they all know the service that they are going to get. So
and enough social proof already I don't know, like other people who are doing it.
A lot of social proof is there. The quantum of digital content has, I think, quadrupled during this period, and people who are on social platforms or any form of digital content is there, they are reaping the benefits of it also.
Right. And the measurement is like very accurate, precision வந்து மெஷர் பண்ணுறாங்க. லைக் எஃபர்ட்ஸ் எல்லாமே வந்து மெஷரபிளாக இருக்கிறது வந்து ஒரு பெரிய ஃபேக்டர். அண்ட் ஏன்னா இப்போ நம்ம யூடியூப்பில் 2019 பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பெய்ட் ப்ரொமோஷன்ஸ்லாம் இவ்வளோ இருக்காது. இப்போ லைக் எவ்ரி சிங்கிள் வீடியோ ஹேஸ் அ ஃபஸ்ட் ஒரு தேர்ட் செகண்ட் ஸ்லாட்டே வந்துச்சு.
Even a lot of local players are advertising. There are a lot of regional advertisements. We have been talking about regional advertisements, targeted advertisements. I am seeing all of those things right now currently. Phoenix Mall is promoting itself on YouTube. All small players are now promoting. It's not only the big the corporates promoting. Even now, because of this targeted promotions are available, people are able to just say, I only want these people to see my ad, people in this locality. So and I think it will also increase more when time goes on. It will increase more. And again, right now the cost of digital advertisement is much less, and this price will go up in time to time. So people who are thinking of doing it, do not hesitate. It is not the time to hesitate now, because it will increase in the future. So I think this is the right time, and always this will be the right time. Whenever you are going to look at this video, whenever this is played, this is the right time to go digital.
Right. And நம்ம first initially when we started, like there were like very minimal channels available. When we started at that time, ShareChat was launched, I guess. Yeah, it was launched, but it did not have a ads manager or anything. But right now they have an ads manager, and TikTok has been banned. So many new things. And
so what is your thoughts on TikTok banning? What do you feel?
So I personally feel like TikTok's algorithm is one of the best that I've seen ever on a social media platform. And TikTok has just one placement of content serving.
Yes.
So for example, if you go to YouTube, there is the home page, there is the video page, and there is a recommended list. But TikTok is like wholly focused on, there are just two aspects of TikTok. One is following and is for you. So the for you page is like once நீங்கள் வந்து ஒரு கண்டென்ட் கன்சியூம் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டிங்கன்னா அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு இது பிடிக்கும்னு சொல்லிகிட்டே இருக்கும். ஸோ ரேங்கிங்ஸுக்குனாலே ரொம்ப டார்கெட்டடாக இருக்கும். அண்ட் டிக்டாக் நம்ம ஆக்சுவலாக நம்ம ஊரில் பேன் பண்ணும்போது தான் ஆட்ஸ் மேனேஜர் லான்ச் பண்ணாங்க. ரைட் நோ த யூஎஸ் ஆர் ஆக்சுவலி டார்கெட்டிங் வெரி வெல் ஆன் டிக்டாக். ரைட். இப்போ வந்து ரீசெண்டாக தே ரீபிராண்டட் ஃபேஸ்புக் ஆஸ் மெட்டா. ஸோ நம்மளோட அட்வர்டைசிங் சேனல்ஸ் இன்னொரு டைமென்ஷன் உள்ள போகுது. லைக் வி ஆர் கோயிங் டு சி அ ஹோல் டெப்த் ஆஃப் அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் லிட்ரலி. ஸோ
ரீல்ஸ் இஸ் நாட் ஆஸ் எஃபெக்டிவ் as TikTok.
இட் இஸ், பட் இப்போ இன்ஸ்டாகிராம் எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா இன்ஸ்டாகிராமில் வந்து there are a lot of different things. So there is post, there is videos, there is guides, there is carousels, there is stories, there is highlights, there is bio, and there is reels, and there is explore, and there is shop. So there is no core focus on that. TikTok வந்து ரொம்ப simple. It's like உள்ள வரீங்களா, உன் டெக் பிடிக்குமா, you can see the content.
So simple for content creators and content consumers.
Yeah. So நீங்கள் உங்கள் பேஜில் வந்து ஒரு டெக் வீடியோ போட்டுட்டு திடீர்னு நீங்கள் புக்ஸ் படிக்கிற வீடியோ போட்டிங்கன்னா யுவர் பேஜ் will not perform well because it will personify your page. Even டெக் வீடியோஸ் தான் போகணும். You cannot diversify. இப்போ யூடியூப்பில் வந்து you can diversify. You can post about your personal doings, vlog and everything. பட் டிக்டாக் வந்து ரொம்ப கோராக ரிட்டென்ஷன் டைம் வச்சு தான் வந்து உங்களோட கண்டென்ட்டே சர்வ் பண்ணும். அண்ட் ரைட் நோ இப்போ நான் அது பார்த்துட்ருக்கேன். லைக் அன்றைக்கி ஒரு தடவை ஐ வாஸ் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் டாக்டர் ஸ்டேஜ்னு சொல்லி பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கோம். டாக்டர் ஸ்டேஜ் ட்ரெய்லர்னு பேசுகிறோம். ஸோ முன்னாடி எப்படி இருக்குன்னா வந்து நம்ம பேசுகிறத வச்சுட்டு தேல் சர்வ் ஆட்ஸ் பேசிக்கலி. இப்போ என்ன ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா என்னோடய ஃபீல்டில் நான் ஓப்பன் பண்ணும்போது என்ன கண்டென்ட் வருன்றதே வந்து தேர் யூஸிங் ஆர் மைக்ரோஃபோன் டு சர்வ் தி கான்டென்ட். ஸோ டாக்டர் ஸ்டேஜ்னு சொல்லிட்டு உள்ளே போகிறேன், டாக்டர் ஸ்டேஞ்சோட ட்ரெய்லர் வந்து உள்ளே இருக்குது. ஸோ நம்ம இமீடியட்டாக அதான் உள்ளே போய் பார்ப்போம். ஸோ இட் ஹஸ் பிகம் லைக் ப்ரைவசி பிரேக்கிங்காகவும் இருக்குது. பட் அட் த சேம் டைம் யூ ஆர் actually getting the content yourself. But இது வந்து it talks a lot about how it can manipulate us, you know, as a whole.
Psychological how it can be
influence வந்து எப்படி வந்து உங்க மேல.
Because when TV came, when the radio came, when any form of mass media came, it was always used to, you know, I don't think it is the right word is manipulate. The word would be giving information. Right. And it is up to any human being to, you know, decide what they want to do.
Right.
At particular
choice
stage of life, you have the choice. That's what we still believe. TikTok banning, what I feel is in India, I think, you know, people say it is political and all, but it is more of a denial of information to the Indian population, I believe. The kind of information that is available on TikTok, I believe it is much stronger than what is there on Google. Because, you know, as you said, it is easy to consume and it is easy to create.
Right.
If you have to give information on Google, you have to create a website, you know, the
SEO optimize.
The task is a tiring task, but then if you want to create, you know, something on TikTok, it is much easier. So, and the way how this information spreads is also much better in TikTok compared to,
and it is very raw and authentic. Like Instagram வந்து எப்பயுமே சொல்லுவாங்க அந்த aesthetics தான் ரொம்ப ஒர்க் ஆகும். People think about the lighting, the costume, the aesthetics. TikTok வந்து ரொம்ப ராவா இருக்கும். படுத்து கிடப்பாங்க, they'll wake up and just talk, you know what I was thinking அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு it'll be like naturally people talking to other people. Transparent-ஆ இருக்கும் ரொம்ப. So people don't there is a segment of the making up and everything, but most of the content that goes viral will be very raw and authentic.
The importance is given more to the content than to the quality, what you say, the aesthetic part of the.
Yeah. So people always like people being honest with them, you know. So எந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸாம்பிள் இருக்குன்னா, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நான் வந்து ஒரு மெக்டானல்ட்ஸ் போகிறேன், ஐஸ்கிரீம் மிஷின் பிரேக் ஆகிருக்குன்னா ஐ கேன் டூ திஸ் டு கெட் அ ஃப்ரீ ஐஸ்கிரீம்னு சொல்லி there'll be a tip. So people start going to McDonald's and doing like, I went to the McDonald's after someone told me that this is something that I can do. அப்படின்றப்ப people actually try it and other people do it, execute it.
Okay.
So social proof create ஆகிட்டே இருக்கும், and then a community of people do it. And இது இப்போ அமெரிக்காவில் பயங்கர டாமினண்ட்டாக இருக்கனால, and America is just one language அப்படின்றனால ஈஸியாக டிசிபேட் ஆகிருக்கும்.
But when you say like, you know, population wise,
நம்ம ஊரில் ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். நம்ம ஊரில் டிக்டாக் வந்து செக்ரிகேட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டாங்க. தெர் வாஸ் அ கேம்பெயின் கால்டு கால் ஃபார் யுவர் லாங்குவேஜ். ஸோ கால் ஃபார் தமிழ்ன்ற ஹேஷ்டேக்கில் யூஸ் பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொல்லி தே செக்ரிகேட் ஆல் தி பிக் தமிழ் கிரியேட்டர்ஸ். தென் கால் ஃபார் தெலுங்கு, கால் ஃபார் மலையாளம். So we had to separate our content into more than 17 to
18 of the content.
So நீங்கள் தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்கிற கான்டென்ட் வந்து தெலுங்கில் போனீங்கன்னா you won't know any content creators from தமிழ்நாடு. But USல வந்து like everybody will know because there is just one language and one feed. So it was hard for them.
But my clear thoughts are like, you know, universally one language, I think we are coming to it very soon.
And which is going to be English predominantly.
There will be two languages, but the most dominant would be English. Small languages such as Tamil, Telugu,
Hindi.
Will be used inside the house as a vernacular language, but predominantly for business or for communicating or for educating, the major language would become English across the globe.
Right.
Very soon.
And இப்போ வந்து டாமினண்டா இங்கிலீஷ் இஸ் டாமினன்ட்.
But இப்போ அந்த எல்லாரும் my language, your language, and all these things will fade out from our head.
I think the next generation will focus more on just communication and not being emotionally bound to a language.
Correct.
And
Correct.
there are fights happening because like this is my language, this is your language. So I think that is there.
Fights. What like the Ukraine Russian?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you
I think it was under the verge of another big war breaking down, and people were very scared of what was going to happen. But I think even till today the economy there is just like very bad, and the media is trying to hide the fact that Russia is actually doing good, because one of my friends is studying there, and like a cost of one single egg is 40 rupees.
Okay.
So, and Sri Lanka is also going through.
Sri Lanka is in an economic crisis.
And I think
most of the countries.
Some African countries are. Some African countries are still going through.
African countries have hit the double-digit in inflation.
Okay. More than 15%.
20%. 20%. Zimbabwe has started giving
Zimbabwe
gold coins instead of currencies because their currency.
Oh, they've gone
hyperinflation.
Okay.
Lot of countries are there who do not have reserves of dollars anymore to do any international transactions, and most of these countries are very dependent on their imports because their local production does not suffice their own economy or their own people. So currently the people are the ones who are hit and are struggling the most, and there is this huge blame game on that this inflation is because of the pandemic, is because of the war, and I don't think it is anywhere true. I personally believe that it is purely because of the system that we follow, the economic system that we follow. It is a cyclic trend. It has to happen, and it had happened, and people should have been told about this earlier, rather than letting it like this and blaming others and playing a game so that you can blame on somebody, blame the Russian, blame the Chinese, blame the American, blame the Indian. But
the blame game
basically the blame game. But the actual truth is the system that we follow is going to go up and down
regardless of
whatever we do, because that's how our banking system works, that's how our money works, that's how our population is going to work. So I believe all of these should also be taught in schools.
I think, and homeschooling is also gaining very good popularity, I guess.
Correct.
I have a friend's friend who is in Tiruthangal.
It's a very small
village, and they are starting to do homeschooling because they understand that what the schools are teaching them is not viable enough, and you can write private exams, you can do everything in private. So it does not make clear sense for them to actually send them to a school, and it has become very expensive also. The edutech,
Correct.
barging into our thing and making a very big impact in the monopoly of education.
Yeah, the impact of BYJU's.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it is the worst thing.
I think did we talk about?
It is very scary to talk about BYJU's.
Yeah, they can actually send a copy strike to this video. So
defamation.
Did we talk about BYJU's in 2018? Were they there? Like podcast பேசிருக்கோமா?
I think they had a very minimum coverage across India. I think that is when Shah Rukh Khan started.
Yeah, they had put ads, but they didn't start the acquisition game and all.
Door knock model back then. It was more
Right.
of an awareness campaign. And now once this door knock campaign has started, I think it is really bad. And
Okay.
one big thing that BYJU's is, I personally want to comment on is monopolizing a service that is used to provide information to the future of mankind is something very evil, basically.
Yes.
It is when if I were a child, if I had to convey this message to a child, I would make a company like this with horns and draw cartoons of it and trying to preach you something. From the outset it looks really horrible. And one more thing what I've observed is these physical centers that they have started right now are getting the traction. People are going, parents are enrolling their children into it. And I still do not understand the
time only has it, I guess.
The awareness level that is there. There is one set of population that is, as you said, in Tiruthangal people are doing homeschooling, but then there is still one set of population that is that wants to
even
drive,
in Bengaluru they are actually
drive this economy. Right. They are still driving this economy.
No, I think we spoke to one of your friends about this 2 lakh rupees per month fees and all.
Yeah, the school, the amount of
that is like 24 lakhs, right?
24 lakhs in a year. The big shots they do. No, that is schooling for higher society, but that is
the premium segment.
The premium segment, they have the money, and I know that they can demand
a certain
things, and what they want they can demand. But in a institution like a monopolized institution, the institution is going to force you with what it wants, and what the future population is going into.
I think we will not be able to guess what the next 5 years is going to be, because we kind of understand where is going towards, but to be exactly sure of which company, because like BYJU is also facing a lot of crisis right now. The stock prices are reducing, and people are starting to think of BYJU as you said, like the evil company. But time only has to tell like which company is going to sustain and how people's mindsets are going to change, because a lot of people might think like whether we should actually send our children to school, does it actually make sense? But the amount of population that actually believes that education is the core part where they get the career choice and job choice or the future choice, I don't think, I don't know, it's just like very very unstable for me to think how the future is going to be.
Career choice in politics, in entrepreneurship, I don't think.
And I think a lot of people are interested in starting a career and
in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I believe there is a huge gap in the political.
Yeah, definitely.
Also we see Tamil Nadu, we see Japan, we see Russia, we see Sri Lanka, and everywhere it is the the leaders who are blamed, and there is no reason to blame the leaders. We put them where they are.
Where
they are. So there is no reason to blame. Whatever it is, democracy is truth or fair if it is elections are fair, but still we have accepted it, and without our acceptal nothing can happen. So there is nothing, again, blaming them is not the issue. And we are talking about BYJU and the stock market. The stock market
has plunged like a toilet plunger in the last 3 months, I guess.
I think for the past 1 year it has been in the downtrend, but for these companies, big companies per se, who came into these IPOs, all these big unicorns, so-called once upon a time unicorns, to bring in some wealth, to bring in some cash flow, hoping to bring a drastic change into the Indian ecosystem, pushing it digitally and to make money, and the projections that they made, they thought, okay, the more money we have and if we are able to push it more, we were talking about influencing mind through media, influencing mind did not work properly,
right?
And that is one of the main reasons of the current day inflation that we are facing, because for a worthless piece of share, say it was quoted at some 100 rupees or 200 rupees, is actually would have been worth 10 rupees.
Right.
So you would have spent arbitrarily, there was that something that did not exist. You gave 100 rupees for it and you lost 90 rupees for it, and that money has been spent, we do not know where, and
on customer acquisition, probably.
Customer acquisition, and most of this customer acquisition happened through Google, through Facebook, and I think the
digital economy benefited a lot from the
big giants. The previous monopoly, the digital monopolies would have got benefited from it. And I think right now that is why Meta is evolving, Google is evolving,
exactly.
but our economy is de-evolving.
We are putting all our money in the companies that are making our company going to down.
I do not know it, the way how all these recent apps, the share market apps that were
Zerodha.
promoted, a lot of my friends basically lost a lot of money. Personally, I have felt families lose a lot of money. It's like, giving them some instant gratification message. Some people say they made money, but within 2 months or 2 weeks they lost what they made. It feels it is very rigged, and when you look at the holistic picture, from history, what has been happening in the capitalistic market for around 100 years, it looks very cyclic.
Right.
It looks very predictable.
The history repeats itself.
And so the game is very boring, basically. So, there is no urge to play.
I think it's time for the business people to, actually come in and, do business inside India, because Make in India is a very good campaign. Like, it is motivating a lot of young entrepreneurs to build companies right in India, rather than depending on cash flow from the foreign countries or foreign companies, basically. And I am seeing a lot of colleges project their students into entrepreneurship, and people actually, because it has become cool to be in CEO right now as of today, with all the movies that project startup owners as the thing. Because we were talking about OYO, I think in 2019 we were talking about OYO, which was under loss for 2,500 crores.
Even today OYO is.
Yeah. And that was, I think that was the start of the startup downfall.
The craze and downfall.
Yeah, the downfall. And we were thinking.
But when the downfall started, all the CEOs were projected as gods to us.
Heroes, yeah, basically.
Not heroes. Heroes is a very small word. Yes, I know people literally worshipping these people, say, I want to be like this, I want to be like this. I had no idea why they wanted to be like that person. That person has not added any value into the society, basically. As a person, the only value that they have added is the value into their own wallet, the wallet of their investors, but no value to the Indian economy or any economy. I'm saying the Indian economy, but to the people who are actually taking part
in the society.
I think it was not added, and I am sure this trend will continue for the next 100 years.
Yeah, definitely.
You and I,
and we have to understand this pattern and be cautious.
People have to understand this pattern. There are some very good economists who have understood this pattern. I think I watched this movie, The Big Short, I think a lot of times. And there are people in this movie who have understood this pattern, who have betted against the market and made a lot of money from it. But it is happening again.
And I think the future is scary, and it is up to us to decide.
How can it be scary when you know it?
Yeah, but like if everybody knows that.
No, not everybody knows it.
Yeah, that is the problem, because it's scary because I don't know it personally.
Okay.
So it's scary because we don't know what can happen, because I totally fear the concept of AI taking over a lot of mundane tasks. There's a product by NVIDIA.
Okay.
It is a digital art creator. So if you click on mountains and you put two lines like this, a mountain will appear. It will be as good as a cinematic photograph.
Okay.
If you click on water and you put a water inside it's just a streak of lines you put, it will become a river.
Okay.
So it has entirely changed the way how digital artists have come so far with the devices, because the technology for digital art has just improved with the Apple iPads and the Microsoft Surfaces and Samsung's tablets. But right when this technology is up to the point where a digital artist can actually show his metal, and AI is coming over and it says like, you don't need anything, you just need a powerful graphics card and everything. So that scares me, because that's really scary.
So the industrial revolution, if we take the industrial revolution, lot of workers now, what you say as artists, the people whom we call as labor nowadays in our country used to make cars once.
Right.
Okay. And it started being revolutionized into automated
robotics
and automated production lines. Basically, just like that, it takes time for a creator to do something. Okay, right now we are reducing his job, so there is no need to be scared of technology. There is only two things that we can do. We have to do. Being scared of technology is the going behind the line.
It's a routine, like it happens over and over again.
Yeah. So the only thing you have to do is you have to either work with the technology or work for the technology. Those are the only two things you have to do always. And AI and machine learning are going to be very big, because as human beings, this is the first time we were able to give a lot of personal data.
Right.
I think the previous
advent of smartphones and everything, they literally know everything right now.
And the previous data that we were able to share with the government or with the data holders were
very arbitrary, right?
It was our name, our address, our phone number.
Now it's our behavior altogether.
But every time we share data, there is going to be war. There is going to be a lot of discrimination. I think once we start sharing more and more data, people on top will have the ability to discriminate a lot of us more, like how during Germans were able to classify a set of people called Jews. That is a kind of data they used to take. Return data they used to take. Election is a form of data. Election is also data. Election, when I say election is a data, is the voter ID that has been given to us is a data. Basically only with that data all campaigns are planned.
Right.
Number of voters, number of
male voters, female
voters, age, their caste, everything.
The first vote.
So they know everything, and based on that, the campaign is going to be planned. So every time we give a data, it has the ability to influence us.
Right.
And currently, the data that we are giving is a more, as you said, a crude data, transparent data that we share on TikTok. So this way,
something that we don't even know that we do.
Yes, true. So the most transparent data of an individual is being shared, and this is being shared in huge volumes and being consumed
every second.
So it is going to give an opportunity for some people to target and use it in the wrong way. Also, when there is wrong, there is always going to be the alternate of it. So I think the balance has to be met very soon. But the only issue is the data has all been monopolized.
Right.
And no regulatory body, no government body, whomever is going to come.
And the government bodies don't have the comprehensive ability to actually cope up with the speed of the technology also.
Correct. I think the government is more of, from the data that what I have seen, visually understood, is more of a stubborn unit across the globe based on a small ideology, thinking it is good for the mass of the people. And as a human race, as a universal ideology that can be done, because with the internet, with the mobile phones, with all this data sharing, a universal consciousness can be attained very soon. But maybe that is why I think TikTok has been banned across certain parts. A country like India need not ban TikTok. I think need not. It should either talk with the people who have TikTok. Try to make some arrangements where it is a mutual deal for both the countries rather than just blocking. We do a lot of business with China till. Most of our businesses with China, none of those are blocked. Even today we trade with Chinese currency with the Russians for their oil. I think it's all a scam of information and data that is happening. And stock markets, bitcoins.
Right, cryptocurrency. That's a very big topic, I think. So from Web 1 to Web 2. So when we talked about Meta, that was like a very big turning point for a lot of people to actually take it very serious, because Facebook had entirely changed their entire brand toward Meta, because they were so deep into that, because they had acquired Oculus, a company that is about virtual reality, in 2012, and they had been planning for the past 10 years to get ready for this. And only when they started Meta, now there are products like Unreal Engine, There are products like Neurosity. Neurosity is a product that when you put your headset on the top of your head, it will read your sonic signals and it can read your brain. So when your phone use பண்ணும்போது, if you tell swipe, if you think of swipe, the phone will swipe actually.
Stephen Hawking, you can be a Stephen Hawking in real life.
So what the product Stephen Hawking had was a very
the prototype of the Neurosity.
No, it was a very high cost, labor intensive. Basically prototype which was very expensive, but this is available right now as a headset, like you can buy it and you
Mass
can put
market.
it.
Okay.
And I see people casually reviewing this, saying like this, the latency is different, the latency is good, the previous model was not like this. Like, I'm amazed at the fact that people are very normalized that something like this exists, and it always amazes me that it is like so ahead of its time. Because I used to think you cannot actually.
So time is a very relative.
Yeah, definitely.
Time
but still,
is very relative, I think.
But still, because the first time we saw a Nokia 1100 to where we are now, it's 10 years. And when I saw a phone that was like 2 GB, that was like 4 years ago, and right now the phone has 12 GB of RAM, like it's like 6 times higher than that. So the speed is actually, pacing up really good, and people, are trying to add more and more things into their life. So now we have IoT, and the cryptocurrency is like the fintech of all the things, and people don't understand it yet. They don't know the use case of it.
Yeah, but I have a very big what do you call
A revelation.
A revelation on crypto. Okay, the concept of transparency is what we want from money,
Right.
basically. But does cryptocurrency actually solve that?
It does not create transparency, it creates anonymity.
Okay.
So the amount of cash that you have,
you can hide more money, basically.
exactly. So it is currently actually used to launder money.
So it is a money laundering.
Right now, as of now, it's because there is no regulation. So like for companies that have IPO, there is a thing called ICO, which is called initial coin offering.
Okay.
So, but there are coins that have really no backing, but there is no regulation. So that is why the pump and dump schemes happen. People like rug pull like entire $5 million worth of cash, they just jump. So it's a weird scenario to be in, because like there are a lot of gullible people.
Again, it is the gullibility of the
It's purely, it is going to be like we said, like it's going to be the same thing over and over again. And
different forms.
Yeah. So the Ponzi is actually right now with the concept of cryptos. Yeah, so it's
But
good.
still the Ponzi exists.
Yeah,
So everything
it is just not named the same way.
Okay.
Maybe a different person would have the same way. Maybe Elon Musk is the Ponzi of 2022.
Okay. Again, I believe he's one of the biggest fraudulence of the current generation. I do not know the way, and that's why people treat him like God, and they are ready to accept what he has done. When you look at it, it is one, the way how he manipulates things with a single tweet. All those things are ways to just bring in more money into his company, which it is not the right way to do business. It is not the right way. It is the most unethical way. Sometimes I think, okay, we should have also done some things like this, but then no, it is a really unethical way to do it. It does not give a good night's sleep once you have done it.
My uncle always used to say that Germans are very ethical business people.
Germans are very
Yeah, so what he says is like every single product they make it in such a way that they actually want to create impact.
Yeah. So these are the words a business person should be taught.
And he hates US companies because he says their only goal is to make money. So they'll just acquire someone. They wouldn't have the intent of creating impact. They want to create impact, but the intent is not the
intent
impact.
The intent
the money,
is
the
like
money.
BYJU's.
Exactly.
Intent is
it is
like
not
BYJU's.
changing India. It's just
I want to pocket money.
Yeah. So and he is like very against.
And look at the way how BYJU's is personifying itself with BYJU's Ravindran. But the amount of money that they have pumped in, the initial investors who have now made a lot of money. Now there are I think they are this fourth round of investment. Fifth round of investment.
I think every single top Fortune 500 company has invested in the company. Facebook, Google,
and
Disney.
Then through the IPO, they
Yeah, they are
get
trying to
back the
act-
investment. And,
Now they are going to get money from the parents,
going to
and then get fees from the parents, and then give out the same thing to the society.
Okay, at least that it is understandable that there is a service that they are offering, and okay, you are creating a market. But the other thing, the way how investors right now are looking at the business model is very bad. They say, okay, right now, okay, I'm going to start a company, and then I call an investor, say, I plan it with an exit strategy.
Right.
Say, okay, sir, you come, you can exit now, you give me so much of money, I would have achieved this much, but still, the company will be going in loss, you will lose a lot of money, but then I will be able to sell the company to another person for so much of money, and I can give you this much of money. And so it is more of not a value adding rather than more of adding money, and it is no way their money.
Right,
That is the most funniest part. There is no service, there is nothing given back, it is just taking back.
We're just taking and not giving, right?
It will not last, and I think this is one of the main reasons for all these recessions that you're facing. This cycle is because of, once you're on top, I think greed hits you, makes you go down.
Go for. Okay, so whenever there's a up, there's a down. So I think it's going to be around.
I think whenever there is an up, the down can actually be made more beautiful. It need not be a bad down. Okay, so only if you're going to reach the top very fast, the fall is also going to be very fast. If the growth is planned, gradual, and say it is for everybody to enjoy the growth. It is not just for one sector or two sector. It is for everybody to enjoy. And then I think the fall will also be evenly balanced, because you won't be growing in the same line with the same value. You would be growing in a vertical line.
Right.
So I think the way how we are growing right now,
And I think it's kind of an oxymoronic thing to say, because the growth is gradual, but the technological advancement is very fast. So I think they don't fall in the right place, because when you try to build something very slowly and the pace of the things around you is going very fast, it is very hard for us to comprehend and be in the same part.
correct, but technology is leading the change in growth. If there is no technology, there is not going to be any growth. But this intention of some individuals that they have to complete a particular task within a small duration of time, because they believe that it is their lifespan is going to decide the entirety of
the future
of
the nation or whatever.
Of whatever it is, humanity. Like Elon Musk says, it is I am going to decide the future of humanity. Humans have to go to Mars. I know we are going to die. People talking bigger than something that they are not even a peanut size compared to such a huge body as Earth. And they say we have to leave Earth. Earth is going to die. You never know the dynamics of such a big thing.
Right.
And you still, you think you can comprehend everything. You think you have all the data. I don't think it is. It's a small people ideology which is making the globe crazy. But it is only these crazy people that make the globe rotate also.
Right.
If not for these small number of people, but a very good example right now, I get a lot of posts of Tesla recently. I do not know why. I have continuously posts of Tesla being a good guy, and I think Edison being the bad guy. This is recently.
This is Nikola Tesla you're talking
Nikola Tesla.
Okay, I thought the company. Okay.
No, Nikola Tesla. But 5 years back, I had this perception that Tesla was a loser.
Okay.
Because he did not know how to sell his ideas, because it was deeply implanted into my brain, saying that you need to make money, you need to make money, you need to make money. It is not about just having ideas. A person who can sell his ideas is supposed to be a better person. But all of a sudden, this another conscious thought is being brought into the society, where saying
you don't need to make money.
The objective is if the objective is to, you know, bring impact into the life of humans in the future, then it is not about money. It is just about doing what you got to do and, you know, die.
No, people tell like பழக்க தெரியாத பையன் சொல்லுவாங்க, but sometimes people don't want to do that. Sometimes people are just happy with what they have, and
Correct.
they don't want to like go out of their way to prove to people that I know this or something like that.
Correct.
So yeah, I think we've talked a lot of ground about everything, I guess. From
I think, you know, we had a huge gap, so people need to know
what is happening
and what we think about.
And every single sentence we go is like a huge topic. So it's like we jump like the recession only. We went like this. So yeah, it's great to be back again, and we have to tell them that this is a new office in Tenampet. And the office space is really good.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I think you might have seen us in the last office in Velachery, and we have a lot of new beginnings here, and we are bound to make some greater jumps in the future. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Ram. Thank you for the time.
It was nice, you know, to talk after a long time.
Yes.
About people.
It's been so long, like to talk like this. Yeah. So thank you so much. We'll see you again in another episode. Until then, this is Ram and Gohan signing off. Bye bye.